Hello everybody and welcome once again. My name is Alan Shisco and I'm a motion graphics artist. Just a couple little quick tips today. We're going to be looking at keyframes and different ways of selecting and modifying them in the graph editor. Now, usually when you go around selecting keyframes, I've got 3 layers here and they all have some position keyframes. You just sort of click and you drag a box, or if you're going from the other side you click and you drag, and oh, look at that, I missed all those. It's really tricky when you've got keyframes right at the edge of the timeline to click. You got to be right there and dragging to get them. Now there is an easier way to do it. What I do is I click on the one, and you notice if you click on an attribute, it automatically selects all the keyframes in that row. Hold down your shift key, click on the next one and the next one. If you hold down shift, it'll add to your selection set, and you've got them all selected nice and quick like that. So when I'm selecting a bunch, I just sort of go like that. Shift, click, 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 and they're all selected. Now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to ease them all, okay? And what I'm going to do is just go up to the animation menu, keyframe assistant. You can see you've got your easy ease choices right there. You can also right click on any of your keyframes, go down to keyframe assistant, and you have the same choices. I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut, of course, because I like keyboard shortcuts. I'm going to hit the F9 key. So select, 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 F9. Now, let's go to the graph editor and see what we've got here, okay? I'm just going to hold down the shift key and F3, and here we've got the graph profile. Now, to my eye, I always change the acceleration and deceleration profiles, the eases, pretty much all the time, because I find that the easy ease and the ease in and ease out that you use from the animation menu up here, I don't know, they're just they're not easy enough. So I'm going to change them all. Now, here's the little secret, okay? What you do when you've got all of your positions selected here, all the keyframes, you've got all the little profiles here, click and drag so that you got them all, okay? Select one of these little handles here. Watch what happens, okay? Look over here. Okay? When you click and drag that, you're not just modifying any one item, and you're not just modifying any one keyframe, you're modifying all the ones that you've got selected, okay? Just like that. Same thing to go over to the other side. You click and drag like that, okay? So that's an easy way to make sure that you get consistent, identical acceleration and deceleration profiles for multiple objects over multiple parameters. Did that make sense? Wow, that doesn't even sound like English. What it means is that every object that you've got, in this case in their position, is going to accelerate and decelerate at exactly the same rate. If I just selected each one of these position keyframes separately and played around with the eases, it's not going to be exactly the same. So, I don't know. That's just one approach for you. So, there's that one. The other thing that I would like to address in this little mini tutorial is, let's just get rid of these right here. There, we'll go back, Shift F3 to get back here. And this little trick that you might not know about, and that is how to move an object that has a keyframed motion path, move it all the paths identically relative to one another. All right, that sounded rather confusing. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. Let's say you've got this little animation of a circle going like that, and the art director says, that's fine, it all looks good, but I want it all moved down to the bottom right corner. Okay, there's a couple of ways you can do it, right? You can sort of click here and sort of move that down, and oh yeah, that's right, you can click and move that here, and you can move that there, and but the motion path is completely different, eh? So there is another way to do it, all right? Let's say you, remember, shift on a parameter to select all your keyframes, okay? I want to move this entire motion path as it is down to the corner. So I'm going to click and drag. Oh no, that doesn't work, okay? Because I am right in the middle of my motion here, okay? I'm not on a keyframe. Now watch what happens though if I go to directly over a keyframe in my timeline. It doesn't matter which one I go to, it can be any one. Now I'm going to click and drag. Watch what happens to the other keyframes over here. Ah, look at that. No new keyframes are created because we've already got one there. And when you do the move, all the other keyframes move relative to one another identically. So that's a little trick that you might not know about if you want to move entire objects along with all their keyframes, but maintain their relative positioning with the transform that you've got there. So there you go. Those are the little tips for the day. Hopefully you learned a couple little tricks there, and thanks for watching again, and I will talk to you next time.